Hello and welcome. It's time for the review of this magnificent second Test match here at Edgbaston. I'm in the company of Stuart Broad and Kumar Sangakkara, and what has been, gentlemen, an absolutely spanking victory for India. Series levelled at 1 apiece, and what a performance from Shubman Gill and his team. They've completely outplayed England.
Well, they have on every level, bat and ball, not so much in the field perhaps, but yeah, I mean, the clarity of thought and belief from the captain, the coach and the team was outstanding. A lot of decisions to make, line up first, when to declare, how to bat on a slow pitch, but even more how to bowl. They've done all of that really well. Outstanding.
Shubman Gill, let's start with him. I mean, what an incredible game. 430 run aggregate, a double 100, 150 in the same match. He played with a calm and with a sort of a sense of serenity that was unmatched by anybody on either side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he's got his game arrangement spot on, knows where his off stump is, has a very simple technique of playing the ball, leaves his stump open, no complications, doesn't try to play too many flowery, airy-fairy shots either, and he just keeps repeating that process time after time. Great forward stride, really good on the short ball, compact, and just delivers runs time after time. So early on in his career in the UK, they're giving him loads of confidence, but also everyone else would be looking at him to kind of lead that batting attack and saying, well, if this guy can do it and how he does it, great lesson for us.
And the bowlers, Stuart, I mean, you had Mohammad Siraj in the first innings. We obviously watched India pile up close to 600 in their first innings, and we were saying how flat the pitch was, but Mohammad Siraj found a way to unlock some movement on this surface and pick up 6 for in that first innings, and Akash Deep with 10 for in the match. That is a stunning performance. He probably won't get player of the match. No. There's another bloke who might get that, but to take 10 wickets on there was some achievement.
Yeah, found the most movement, Akash Deep, out of everyone, I think, and we've talked a bit about trajectories of how the taller bowlers hitting the surface and him just sort of kissing the surface and nipping the ball. But he's bowled wicket-taking deliveries. I think probably the most important ball he bowled of the Test match was the first innings to Harry Brook, 303 partnership, nipped back through the gate with the second new ball, opened up the game again, and India were able to blow the tail away. So he's been superb with the new ball, especially making the batters play, challenging their off stump. And Mohammad Siraj, we talked a bit about that added responsibility. No Bumrah, he seems to bowl better. He seems to lead the attack really nicely. Bowls with aggression, bowls with emotion. And I think Shubman Gill captained him really well as well. You know, fired him up at the right times. He bowled, I want to almost say, ball of the game to Ben Stokes, first up, short, going across him, pace, catches the top edge of the bat, caught behind. And you know, when you go and pick up 20 wickets on a pitch where your team scores so many runs, it's a brilliant feeling. And also just created chances, not all the way through, because when this Duke's ball goes soft, it becomes very difficult for the seam bowlers, but that almost adds more pressure when the ball is sort of newish or up to 40 overs old. So to be able to deliver when you have that ball in your hands and take wickets as consistently as they did, absolutely superb. And it puts them in a brilliant place for Lords. You know, the toss goes up, no Bumrah, we're all sort of saying, got to play him, you're 1-0 down. Now you're going to Lords 1-1, and now you can bring back the best bowler in the world.
Yeah, very, very handy indeed. Lots of sort of controversy, lots of talk, I suppose, in the evening about the length of time that India batted on and the length of time they left themselves to win this game. Let's not forget they also lost 10 overs this morning, so England only had to bat or survive 96 overs to get a draw out of the match. And in the end, over the course of both innings in the Test match, England only batted, I think, just under 160 overs in the Test match. I mean, to say that was poor on a surface like that, I think is a little bit of an understatement.
Yeah, 96 overs to bat combined yesterday and today, perhaps 160 overs weren't lost today. Yeah, but that's quite a poor performance. I think India were firstly wary of England's ability to chase down scores, so they delayed it and almost get out of jail free card, as you said, Mark Butcher. But at the same time, they also kind of played on England's ego and that intent and the fact that they said they'll chase anything down. And once you are set with a target like that, the first 10 to 12 overs as the opening pair is really good. They've done well in chasing when the opening pair has that fast start for them. But here, about holding the line, scoring nicely, yes, play your shots, but also be a little bit circumspect, because you know, leading into the last day, you want to give yourself the best opportunity to make a decision. Do you still go for it, or do you bat and then assess at a certain point in time? But what this has again done for me is underpin the importance of Joe Root. He's the one person in that side who can straddle both the old world of classical batting and the new baseball era. But when he goes early, I don't think there's a change of gears from the rest of the side that can match the changing tempo of a difficult test match like this. So Root not getting many runs, to me, is a big issue, but that means there is a question mark in terms of England's adaptability to a situation like that. They didn't do it too well, but then again, they'll go to Lords and they'll double down.
Well, potentially, yeah. I mean, as a bowling unit, I suppose we've watched and we've just spoken at length about how brilliantly India used the new ball. England weren't able to make a similar sort of inroads. India's top order just looks that little bit more solid technically when the ball is moving around. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I think today was probably the best day to bowl, in the fact that it was a dry surface, some cracks arose, you hit the pitch hard and you got nip. But remember, England gave away the right to bowl last by winning the toss and bowling. And, you know, England ultimately, when a team goes and gets 587 first innings, you haven't done your job. You haven't taken 10 wickets quick enough, you've leaked runs. I thought for the first time when Harry Brook came on to bowl in the afternoon of day 2, before knowing both teams had batted on it, that felt very early for him to bowl a 5-over spell. You know, that almost felt like that was declaration bowling or draw bowling come day 4 or day 5. So I think England gave away the initiative slightly on that day too. No lack of trying. There was a lot of effort there, but I think the bowlers look a little bit weary, if I'm honest. Just Brian Cast's feet are obviously hurting him. He's hobbling around a little bit. Stokes' workload's probably been a bit higher than he was hoping for. So I think there will be some changes going forward to Lords, with it being a back-to-back game. What those changes will be, we don't know, but
Archer's he looks
well,
ready
Archer's
to
coming
go, doesn't he?
he looks ready to go. He looks like he could come in. He made his Test debut at Lords in that famous Ashes Test match where he hit Steve Smith and then hit Marnus Labuschagne as he came in as a replacement. And yeah, I think after a loss, it feels like the right time to see what Jofra Archer can do, I think.
For sure. Other notable performances throughout the Test match, obviously, on the batting front for England, the cupboard was a little bit bare, apart from Jamie Smith, who had a spectacular game. You've seen him at close quarters, and he just seems to get better and better.
Yeah, I think I gave him his debut cap for Surrey.
Did you?
I think at Lords in a T20 game, perhaps. But he's outstanding. I mean, you forget technique and all of this. He's, again, very simple in the way he approaches. He problem solves very quickly. Brilliant on the short ball, great on the front foot. What's not to like about Jamie Smith? Unfortunately for folks, I think Smith is here to stay for many, many years, and for other wicket-keepers around, keeps all right as well. So he's been really good. Pant, his counterpart in India, was excellent as well. So I think there's a lot of promise and a lot of positives for both sides to take out of this. But I think at the end of the day, you strip away everything else, the what-ifs and what they should have done. I think the bottom line is India outplayed England in every department.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to argue against that assessment. The Indian fans here at Edgbaston are going nuts as we speak. There was a fabulous crowd in, probably up to around about 15,000. Most of them were sporting the tricolour of India, and they have been thoroughly entertained. Just throw it forward to Lords then for us, gents. You mentioned that England might make a few changes with Archer coming back in. Bethel still is waiting in the wings. Should England feel the need to shake things up in the top order? What about India? Burman will come back and the rest will stay the same. Is that how you see that?
I probably think so. I think Siraj and Akashdeep will play. I think Skiddy or Prasidh Krishna will make way for Bumrah, and I think they might keep that extra batter, Washington Sundar, at that number 8 position, just because it gives them a little bit of confidence and a little bit of cushion to try and manage the downside.
And England-wise, so if Archer comes in, There's a question mark over Bryden Cast. Chris Woakes has only taken 3 wickets at an average of about 96 in the series, so England might be needing to refresh their sort of new ball stocks. What else?
Yeah.
What else could they do there?
Well, Woakes hasn't had great success, but was unlucky that first morning. A couple of umpires' calls, we saw a bit of frustration there. His record at Lords is outstanding, so I'd be half tempted if he's feeling fresh enough to keep him at number 8 and with the new ball. And then you've got to see the fitness between Carson and Tongue of who Archer comes in. We don't know the state of Gus Atkinson. I'd be hesitant to play 2 bowlers that haven't played much cricket at all. Gus Atkinson hasn't featured since the Zimbabwe Test in May. I think Ben Stokes would find that risky going into 2 bowlers who are relatively underdone in first-class cricket. So then you choose between Carson and Tongue, whose fitness looks the best. Tongue's got some experience at Lords against Australia where he swung the ball. Maybe get Cast sort of fresh and fit and a bit more energised for Old Trafford. But you know, England play well at Lords, but I'd be worried about this Indian bowling attack if I was the England batting lineup at Lords. The ball just nips down that slope. I think Akashdeep bringing the stumps into play from that end. If it swings, you've got Bumrah who swings it so late and will be dangerous. I don't think you need 2 spinners at Lords necessarily, but I think they'll play the 2 spinners in the fact it gives them batting depth, and they'll back the fact that they've got 3 seamers that can do the damage.
And also, if Siraj is feeling a little bit tired or risky, they've got Arshdeep Singh as well, and he's not a bad bowler either.
Yeah, OK, well, things looking extremely rosy for England. You would say, I think, that over the course of the 10 days Test match cricket that we've had so far, as brilliant as it's been, I would give India probably 9 out of 10 of them, and it was only the final day at Headingley that they fell short. They have now roared back into the series. Their captain Shubman Gill has the player of the match medallion around his neck as he speaks to Michael Atherton right now. India have won this second Test match by 336 runs. They beat the clock, they beat the weather, and they battered England. You've watched the review here from Edgbaston for the second Test.